to the show. Let's get my next guest straight out, shall we? On stage or on screen, he is perhaps our greatest living actor. Ladies and gentlemen, before he comes out, just a reminder, here he is as the wonderful Gandalf.
Bilbo. Here. This is about your size.
I can't take this.
The blade is of elvish make, which means it will glow blue when orcs or goblins are nearby.
I have never used a sword in my life.
And I hope you never have to. And if you do, remember this. True courage is about knowing not when to take a life, but when to spare one.
There he is in action in The Hobbit. It is Sir Ian McKellen. How lovely to see you again. Ian McKellen, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ian, how lovely to have you here.
You know, I always thought this show was sort of done in your front room. And this was the view out of your window. And all the guests were waiting in your bedroom, lining up for you. But,
waiting for what, I wonder?
Well, exactly.
Waiting for release. They told me, during the commercial break, they said to me, you know what we were watching Sir Ian in the green room there,
yeah.
and he keeps opening and showing the contents of his briefcase
I know.
to Matt Smith.
Ah,
what do you have? Can you tell us what's in this case?
It's a briefcase. I should have brought it with me.
Well,
it's my most prized possession.
Well, Matt, would you bring out the briefcase?
Yeah, I do.
Would you mind running out? So you brought your briefcase with you?
There's a little story to it.
OK, I didn't know anything about this. So...
No, well, you wouldn't. No.
No, because it's your briefcase. How I can't wait to find out.
Well, I'll start the story. I was at... Here
he is.
He's my new friend.
You're lovely, man. No. Stay for a minute.
I'll stay for a moment.
Stay for a minute.
I was at a charity auction, you know, where they put things for sale. And this was for sale.
It's a very smart case.
And I wanted to buy it because, can you see, there's two initials on there.
The initials are L-O. L-O. You want to put a third one on there, L-O-L, because that's what all the kids are saying.
Yes, but why would I be interested in a... Who?
Okay. Laurence Olivier.
Laurence Olivier. Now, who was the hero of my youth. And this was for sale. Joan Plowright, his widow, had given it for... And it just fits a script, you see. That's all it gets in.
Wow.
And I was outbid by Sting, who was at this do.
Sting?
And my
Hold on.
my 60th birthday...
Never mind that. Sting, what a for a start.
Well, that's what I thought. But on my 60th birthday, this arrived all wrapped up as a present for me.
Wow.
I know.
As I said, Sting, what a lovely guy. I've always said that about him. Why don't we send Matt back? Because Matt...
No, please.
Can I see you again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's not got a girlfriend, and, you know, that's...
There's a twinkle in your eye, McKellen. Hey. You know what? As they say, you don't ask, you don't get.
There you go.
Well, yes, because you've been here. This is the exciting thing. There's a sitcom coming on TV. I've seen the first episode, laughed uproariously from beginning to end. For a start, what an incredible cast. Alongside you in it, there are two of the most famous, respected actors in the business. Number one, Sir Derek Jacobi.
Yes, my
How
own
incredible
mate,
is that? And also Francis de la Tour.
Yes.
And many other fine actors and performers. Tell us the premise, because it's a fabulous idea.
Well, I got the script, and it was called Vicious Old Queens. And I said, I'm not old. It's about two gay men. You can tell. Look at us.
Yeah. It's an adorable old gay couple.
I know. We've been living together for 48 years in Soho, and the world's passed us by, really. We keep the curtains closed all the time. And... well, there we are. That's the story. And they're perfectly horrible to each other. That's the way they get through life.
But what's interesting is it's very broad in a good way. It reminded me of Golden Girls a little bit.
Absolutely.
You know, it was a very very welcoming comedy. And what was, I thought, so sweet, if you'll forgive me for rambling back, your thing is, clearly they still do love each other.
Of course. Yes, if they didn't, it would be intolerable.
And there's a rhythm between the two of you. I hadn't realised that you hadn't done something like this before together. This is the first time you've actually... Is it the first time you've ever worked together?
Oh, well, Derek and I were at university together, and we acted a lot there, but then we went our separate ways. And because, on the whole, we play the same sort of parts, we never got together in a play. And no, this is the first time for over 50 years.
Did you ever have a relationship, the two of you?
I beg your pardon? No, it wasn't for want of trying. He was... I mean, Derek was gorgeous. Tight trousers, quiff here, orange hair, duck's arse at the back. You know that look?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and... But, you know, this was the 1950s. Yeah. And I tell you, if you were gay in the 1950s, you didn't dare risk telling anybody else you were in case you got reported to the police and put in prison, frankly.
It was illegal, or
yeah,
aspects
absolutely illegal to make love. But, Derek was clearly gay, and he just happened not to fancy me, so... Oh, thank you. I've got by. Oh, don't worry.
This might sound absurd, but whenever, you know, and I know, obviously, you lived through that period, but when I've read about that period, I've seen shows that deal with that period and seen films, part of me thinks that there must have been, in a way, even though obviously it was intolerable, the way society dealt with gay men in some ways, at the same time, the underground scene must have itself been very exciting.
That is what some people say. Not for me. Yes, I do hear people of my age saying, oh, it was much more exciting. But what's exciting about having, when you shook someone's hand, to shake it in a certain way in case you got a message back saying that I'm gay too? Or queer was the word we used about ourselves. Horrible. No, there were no gay bars to go to. There's no way we could obviously meet people like yourself. There was no gay literature. There's no way you could go out for the evening and be yourself. Yeah. You had to do it behind closed doors. And that's exciting every so often, but not throughout your life. No.
Have a look at this. This is a clip from Vicious. It's the end of April sometime here on ITV, and it's going to be a hit. Have a look at this. It's so much fun.
So who were you squawking at on the phone just now?
What, my mother, if you must know.
Was she calling to tell you when she'd be dying?
She was very distraught.
Why, did you finally tell her about us?
I'm waiting for the right time.
It's been 48 years.
And there has not been a right time.
So his mother doesn't know you're a couple?
No, she gets to know in a later episode.
Have you filmed the whole series? Have you already done it?
Yes, the first series, but now we're doing a Christmas special, so that...
So they're confident.
There are going to be 2 Queen's broadcasts on Christmas Day.
I've seen you live on stage, and you're an incredible stage actor, and that's kind of, you know, where your career was for many years, and then cinema came knocking, and now TV as well.
How did that happen?
Well, it's just incredible that
Why did that happen?
But you're in such huge... because you can do it.
But, yes. The thing was, I think I've got better as an actor. In fact, I know I've got better as an actor.
No, I would disagree.
Oh, thank you. You mean I've stayed as bad as I always was?
No,
thank
I'm
you.
joking, you know.
No. Yeah, well, suddenly I'm in films that people want to see.
Well, really, the blockbuster movies, obviously The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Hobbit, which they managed to take a very slim book and make that in trilogy, so
very clever,
good luck with that. But it will be huge. And the X-Men
Do you know
movies,
why that is?
Why is that?
This little thin book. How can they make 3 big movies? It's the difference between literature and cinema. Tolkien writes, the 2 mighty armies met on the plain.
Yes.
Film, such a literal medium, has to show you the armies.
And that's 10, 15
minutes. Well, that
minutes.
takes forever.
Yeah.
But, so it's not that they've expanded the book, it's just that they've given images to the book.
Made it come alive. Yeah, on screen.
Hopefully.
And you're back as Magneto in the new X-Men movie, which is exciting because the last film was great. But it went back to the beginning of the X-Men.
Yeah.
And now, you know, I'm a huge comic book fan. This is based on one of the best X-Men stories of all time, Days of Future Past. You and Patrick Stewart, of course, who is Professor X, and you've known each other. I know you're working on many projects together.
Yes. I'm going to marry Patrick. But no. Well, how else do you put that? I am going to officiate, yes, at his wedding.
So how come you're legally allowed to do that?
Well, I don't know, but apparently in Massachusetts, I don't know where about, I don't know, we're in the middle of America somewhere, yeah. You get anybody along, a friend, and I read out the words, and Sonny and Patrick will then be married. I declare you man and wife.
Have you had experience of this kind of thing? Do you know?
I've done it once before with 2 guys having a civil partnership.
Here in the UK?
Yeah.
What a nice experience that must be for you and for them.
I was crying my eyes out.
I bet. Well, that would probably spoil it a little bit. I mean, if you're blubbing all the way through.
But what do you wear when you officiate at a wedding?
Well, what did you go with?
Well, last time I went with a sort of gown, a white... something I bought in India. It was rather fetching. But you mustn't upstage the bride,
how
obviously.
How can you not upstage them if you're floating in like some sort of cherub? An elderly cherub wafting in. Darlings, are we ready? Oh, I'm so emotional.
Yes, well.
I apologise, I got a bit carried away there.
That's nice.
Okay, next time you come back on, will you please bring a photograph and show us whatever it is you wear to officiate at Patrick Stewart's?
Well, I'm sure it'll be on Google. You'll find it somewhere.
Probably be, if you wear a big enough hat, it'll be on Google Earth. We'll see it from above. And now we have a clip, and I hope you don't mind us showing this, but there's a sort of an anniversary theme.
I do mind you showing.
Well, we're going to show it.
Yeah.
This has just turned up. They thought this was wiped, and it's just turned up. It was Sir Ian McKellen's first ever television appearance. And this is from 1964. So we're coming up for the 50th anniversary of this appearance, and it was the Indian Stories of Rudyard Kipling.
Correct, yes.
Well, where was this filmed? Do you remember where this was filmed?
Twickenham, probably.
Okay. And was this a big... Did you feel
well,
excited?
You can tell I have no idea what I'm doing. And I'm speaking in the most ludicrous voice.
You are?
It's worth saying in advance, and I come from Lancashire. Well, you can tell, can't you?
Yeah, you can still hear.
Yeah. But when I started, you weren't allowed to be from the regions. Yeah. Not if you were going to be in classical theatre. You had to put on a posh voice, and I did. You see this ridiculous voice. And thank God I've sunk back into my roots now. But I'm ashamed. And go on, show it to me.
Well, here we go. This is from 1964.
See, in front of me there was the tiger. So I walked up to it, took a single shot, fired, and that was that.
And how big was he?
Oh, I'd say, 11 feet.
11 feet.
Well, a darn sight bigger than any tigers you're likely to find in this part of the country.
It isn't really tiger country, is it?
Precisely, but down in the central provinces...
but you're not so hot on the pig sticking, are you?
Sorry. That was a good... There's nothing wrong with that. A young actor still learning his craft, I guess, really.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, when I work, as I do, with young actors, we've got one Juan in Vicious. At the age that I was then, who knows exactly what to do, is relaxed, and I think... What do I think? I think some actors can do it, are born able to do it, and others, like me, have to slog and learn. And if you wonder why I'm still at it, it's because I'm still learning and enjoying trying to get better.
It's a very charming thing to say, but I think you must, and I hope you know, that there's not a lot more for you to learn when it comes to acting. And if there is, then long may you continue to keep showing it to us. Ladies and gentlemen, the fabulous Sir Ian McKellen. Thank you, marvellous, thank you. Sir Ian McKellen, ladies and gentlemen. And seriously, make sure you don't miss Vicious. I'm not sure exactly when. End of April. Hilarious. I can't wait to see the rest. I loved it. After the break, I'll be chatting to Rose Leslie, Kit Harington and Charles Dance from Game of Thrones. We also have music from the fantastic Stereophonics. Don't go away.